Hello, and welcome to Main Character Manifesto. I am so happy you are here. Today is episode 41. Listen, we are back weekly with a vengeance. I am on a quest to get on a schedule that feels good and that feels structured and not chaotic. I think today's theme is going to help everybody. It's not just for entrepreneurs because listen, I talk to everybody. I talk to that woman that has all the different ideas, all the different things that they want to do with the side hustle, launch a business, do something fun at home. If you're a stay-at-home mom, you have multiple things that you need to be doing, and you get pulled in every direction. So, today, we are all going to be in the same category. We are all going to be multi-passionate because that's literally who we are. We have different areas in our lives that we want to thrive and where we want to be the best version of ourselves. And for a portion of today's episode, I am going to talk about business because that also aligns with so many of us. Even if you are not working for yourself and you work for somebody else, there's always something else that is pulling you that you know you want to dedicate more time to. So that is what we are going to focus on today. I am so excited to get back into it. In case you didn't notice, I have been dropping the intro because I want this to be more of a conversation. Yes, this is a show. This is a podcast. I want to welcome you to Main Character Manifesto every time you join because Main Character Manifesto is not just my podcast. It is my brand. It is my personal identity that I want to bring everybody to. I want to bring you into it because my goal is to help and be a source of energy and be a source of information for everybody that is in my vicinity. I want to be able to help uplift and help in your personal development journey. It's not just about, hey, I help you launch a business. Hey, I help you with the mindset. No, 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 no. It's so much more than that. It's about becoming that version of you that you have always imagined that you could be. And then getting that clarity. Once you get that clarity, then we can actually implement the actionable steps to get to that goal. So it's not just about weight loss. It's not just about launching a business. It's not just about doing things that make you feel better in your health and your wellness. It's all of the ingredients. Okay. It's like if you are making a recipe, if you're making carrot cake, you need all of the ingredients. You need the sugar, you need the flour, you need the carrots, you need the eggs, you need the butter. And with all of those, then once you put them together and you bake them up, that's when you get the end product. When you work on yourself and you're working on your mindset, your health, your wellness, your feeling of like success and how you feel like you're contributing to the world, that's also an ingredient. Having a purpose in life, that's an ingredient. Some people feel like, I mean, mothers, literally, you guys, that alone, a mother, oof, your sense of purpose, you literally give everything to your children. You guys are angels. And I think that you guys are like automatic, like when a woman becomes a mother and they really pour themselves into their children, you guys automatically get wings. Like you guys are angels. Boop, you guys just got bumped to the front of the line because the rest of us are over here struggling with our regular life. We're like, oh my God, life's so hard. I'm so tired. I have so much work. And then here are like the superhero mothers who are doing everything that we're doing, but then on top of that, they might also have a husband who is kind of sometimes like another child. And then they also have the kids that they're taking care of. And then we're over here complaining that we're tired when they're literally taking care of everybody and themselves. But then this is where I come in because I am here to support these women and to remind them that they come first. Yes, you come first, because if you do not put yourself first, you are not able to pour into other people's cups. You are not able to give the love and the energy and the wisdom and the value and everything into everybody else because you are depleted. So, that is what we are going to talk about today: how to avoid self-sabotaging yourself when you are a multi-passionate person, whether you're a multi-passionate entrepreneur or whether you are multi-passionate and you are taking care of a household and maybe working a little part-time, and then you also want to pour back into yourself so that you feel more balanced and that you feel re-energized. That is what we're going to talk about as well. But first, let's talk about the entrepreneurs, because the way that I have been self-sabotaging myself, and I think it has been probably within the last year, or maybe like at the beginning of the year, was when like the light bulb went off. And I was thinking, I was kind of struggling with what direction I wanted to go. I'm still at the salon. I love my clients. I have so much knowledge and I have so much to give that I knew I wasn't done there yet. And I knew, obviously, I know I want to grow the podcast. I want this to be a platform. I want to represent Latina women, not just women, but also Latina women in media, because look at us. We need to make something of ourselves, right? We need to make a stamp out there. Podcasting is a different beast, and it's kind of like a newer medium of the way that we deliver content and information. It started in 2003, I believe, but when I think of top podcasters, it's mostly men, one, and two, it's celebrity women who then fall into creating a podcast because they already have the platform. But I don't know. And actually, I should probably do more research on who the top Latina podcaster is who is not a celebrity. I'm so curious about that because I'm coming for you. I want to grow this. I want to add value. This is such a beautiful way to create free content and to help people and to coach people. My conversations here are so much like the ones that I have in my one-on-one coaching. Obviously, when I have a one-on-one coaching client, I am able to really sit back and listen and get clarity and figure out what direction they specifically need to go. But the way that I am able to curate content for you guys and coach you from this little white chair, I feel so proud and happy. And the way that I am learning, because I am a student just like you guys, right? I am learning on how to be the most successful version of me. And it's not just success, it's figuring out how I can also still connect to my values, still connect and be present for myself, how not to be chaotic. Clearly, my friends and my family, my parents see the chaos. That is my life. And it's funny because I am a Virgo Cancer. And my mom is a Cancer, and she is literally like, I don't know what she has. I want her energy. I literally tell her, Mom, do you know what I'd rather be doing? And she will answer, you rather be sleeping. Yes. I would rather be sleeping a lot of the times. I just love naps, but I also love doing things, but I also feel like I get overwhelmed easily. And that is what we're going to decipher today. We're going to talk about how to stop self-sabotaging and how to lean into your passions, how to go forward, and how to identify those things that are holding you back. Like I said, let's dive into the business portion of it. Okay. So when I'm talking about my career and my experience, I went to beauty school when I was 15. And I graduated with my cosmetology license before I even graduated high school. I then went to, most of you guys already know this story, but for the ones that haven't heard it, here we go. I had my beauty school license. I was working at a hair salon in Santa Rosa. I was also getting my business degree. When I graduated and got my business degree, I opened my own salon. I had that for 8 years. And then I was like, I'm still creative. I feel like I have more to do. So I'm going to go enroll in interior design, interior architecture program. And I did that through UC Berkeley. And then meanwhile, I was doing hair this whole time. Meanwhile, I was working at the salon, doing my interior design and interior architecture program. I graduated that. Well, I did an internship in San Francisco for a hospitality design firm because I said, I want to do commercial. I want to work for restaurants and hotels. I want to design restaurants and hotels. I then graduated and then I got a job at another interior architecture firm, interior design, interior architecture that was hospitality, hotels, restaurants. And then I worked there and I also worked at the salon for 2 days a week. I worked 6 days a week, okay? I had 1 day off. I was hustling, and I even took a pay cut from the salon to go work at the design firm because I thought that, oh my God, being a hairdresser is not enough. Like, in my mind, and this has nothing to do with the career of being a hairdresser, it has everything to do with my value. I kept searching for my worth in everything else. I thought, oh, if I get married, then I will be valuable. And then I got married. It didn't work. Clearly, it didn't work. He was a good person, but our values didn't match and really what we wanted didn't match. So we ended up going through a divorce when I was 30. And then it was like that feeling of like, ooh, okay, now I need to get married, have kids, and do all these things. So then I was like searching for that validation, for that self-worth in other people. But then also that moved over to finding that self-worth in my job. And even though, and maybe because I truly love doing hair and I feel like I'm naturally gifted, I'm damn good at what I do. I am a damn good hairdresser and it comes so easy to me. I feel like I took that for granted because it was always there for me. It has put me through school multiple times. I paid for my business degree. I paid for my interior architecture, interior design. I also paid for my coaching business. It's paid for my podcast. I'm so blessed. And I feel like I have an apology. I feel like I have to apologize to my hairstylist career that I haven't really put it in the pillar that it should. I should put it like, would it that was like literally my ESL talking right now. I should put it not on a pillar. I should put it up on a pedestal because that's where it deserves to be. Me being a hairdresser has taught me everything. It's taught me communication. It's taught me listening skills. It's taught me to be compassionate and listen to what people's needs are. And I didn't realize that. It even taught me color theory. I was so good at color theory in my interior design because I had already studied it when I became a hairstylist. So everything works together. Every little step that we take is working together. Even if we think it's not making sense, it's making sense. And I am so grateful to be on the other side and to be like, damn, I'm so proud of everything. I'm so proud of my salon journey. Ooh, I used to love it, like, when I first opened my first, studio, it was super cute. It was like this vintage little house, and I had half of it, and I mean, one of the reasons why I wanted to open a salon was because I wanted to remodel, and I just wanted an excuse to do the interior. So I know that I have always wanted to do something with design. I'm such a creative person and I just love building things. I always say that in my next house that I buy, I will for sure have enough room to have like a little workshop where I build things. And you guys just wait because this little studio, I'm going to start doing a little remodel and I'm going to show it to you guys on my YouTube that you guys have to like, come and check out. If you're not watching me on YouTube, what are you doing with yourself? Come and join me because there is going to be some exclusive content that is only going to be in my YouTube channel. So if you're not following me on YouTube, come over because within the next like 2 to 3 weeks, we're launching. Okay. Okay, fine. Let's just talk about it. I feel like I was just going to drop a little snippet of what's coming, but the way that I am shifting my brand is it feels so aligned and it feels so good because on my YouTube channel, I'm clearly like a long story long type of girl. It's so hard for me when I'm doing short form, when I'm doing videos for Instagram and shorts and TikTok. It's so hard for me to keep it concise because I have a lot to say. Which means I'm going to do great on regular YouTube videos, and that is where we're going. And we are going to help you glow up. We are going to help you become the main character of your own life. We're going to talk about hair. Yes, we're going to talk about hair. We're going to go into hair health, how I suggest different things, different products, all of my best recommendations. Because when you think about being that best version of you, you not only want to feel good, you want to look good. So we're going to make you feel good from the inside out with health, nutrition. I'm not a stylist, okay? I am not a fashion expert. I don't know all the brands. I'm a very frugal person. I invest a lot in traveling. I invest a lot in tech for my business. I invest in my business a lot. That's really important to me at this stage of my life because I'm building. But once I get that situated, yes, you better believe we're going to be buying more fun, fancy stuff. But for now, I feel like if you know the basics, if you know your body, if you know what looks good and then you get creative, you can look good on a budget. So I feel like I should give some tips for you guys, whether you are being visible. A lot of the women that follow me have a business or are starting a business. So being visible and being on camera like this, right? It's like I have to think about what do the colors look like? And like actually right now, if you think about it, like I probably should have a different backdrop because the colors are not coloring. Like this shirt is washing me out. Everything is light behind me and that's washing me out. So in reality, like everything behind me should be darker. And I've been battling with that because I love my podcast setup. I love my curtains. I love my little chair, but it doesn't make me pop as much as I wanted to. So I might reupholster the chair. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, all of these tips, I'm going to help you guys. I'm going to give you guys tips on how I edit, how I record, and some of these tips might help you also, even if you're not a content creator or if you're not creating content for your business. And if you're just posting fun things online or even just taking pictures for yourself and for your family, I want to be able to give you guys some tips on the things that I do I have a lot of social media experience nowadays. I do a lot of content. I help people in their business and their content. And then I've also done content for Napa Valley Stream Fest, which is a festival here in town. This is the second year in a row that I did that. So I definitely have a lot of information to give you guys and a lot of tips and tricks and tools that I want to share. So we're going to talk about all of that in our YouTube sessions. So I'm excited for that. Keep an eye out and go follow me. All right, follow me. Okay, I had to take a little break. So my apologies if it feels a little abrupt. At the beginning, when I started recording the podcast, I was like, "Ooh, I really have to go to the bathroom." But these pants, it has literally like two belts, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm being too lazy. I do not want to unbuckle both of the pants." So then I didn't go to the bathroom. But here we are. I was in mid-sentence and I realized I really can't hold it anymore. So I had to stop the podcast. And I never do that. I can usually just make it through. But you know what? That teaches us. I've been literally drinking my jug of water. I want to really stay on top of things in hydration. I'm having like hormonal breakouts. I don't know what's going on, but it is not the vibe. Not the vibe. Okay, let's get back into it. I am so sorry for breaking up the flow. All right, so let's bring it back. And okay, where was I? I was talking about being multi-passionate. I used to think that being a hairdresser was like not enough of an accomplishment. So then I kept searching for validation in relationships, in another job. Maybe if I work for corporate, then I'll feel like I'm worthy and like I finally am successful. And then I got to a corporate job and I absolutely hated it. I loved the people. I loved learning about design. Like I felt proud that I was able to get to that place, but I hated it. I hated the fact that I did not work for myself. I didn't have my own schedule. And listen, working for yourself is not easier. It's really hard, but honestly, I feel like I'm making it harder than it needs to be. And it's almost like a light bulb moment that has been happening the last couple of weeks, the last couple of months, where I'm like, what the hell am I doing with my life? And why am I overcomplicating it? But I feel like I had to go through all of that to finally be here, to have a lot to say, to have experiences, to be able to show people. I was literally at the lowest in my life and I was able to get up multiple times because when I went through my divorce, I literally could not imagine getting past it and feeling like how I feel now. Now I am so proud of myself. I can actually feel happy. I'm not on like a dating app looking for somebody to date. I'm so invested in my life, in my business, and creating purpose for other people. That brings me joy. Like, I want to be the best version of myself so that I can like help my parents. I can like, take them wherever they want to go. I can take my siblings, my nieces, my nephews so that I can actually help others. Ugh, the way that if like an old person on TV shows up or even like in real life, if I see like this older person needing help, oh my God, I cry. I cry about everything nowadays. I hate these damn hormones. But I want to help and I want to give other like can you imagine like having money and being successful and not giving any of it away? That sounds horrible to me. That there's so much fulfillment and I don't know, is that selfish? I don't know. But I think that's the type of selfish I wanna be, where I wanna feel good because I made others feel good. Whatever, if that's what being selfish is, I will take it. And once I realized that I was like chasing that feeling of being enough, but oh, if I do this, then I'll be enough. If I do this, I'll be enough. And then I was chasing one thing after another. And then I realized, wait, what am I doing? First of all, everything that I've been doing, I love, and I was following a passion. And I feel like I'm very like intuitive and I'm very impulsive. And when I say I'm going to do something, I go all in. But then there's this period of like slowing down once like shit's getting real. And then you have to really, really show up. And then it's like, never mind. And I used to think that I was a quitter. And this is where that self-sabotage part, where I wanted to talk about being multi-passionate. And even if you're not thinking that you are multi-passionate, if you keep starting different things because you're looking for your thing, and then you find yourself quitting at some point, and then you keep starting over, pay attention to that because it might not be that whatever you were doing wasn't meant for you. It might be that as soon as that thing that you're doing that is making you get scared, that's when you're self-sabotaging and that's when you're running away. So I started to really pay attention. I was like, okay, is it that I don't want to design for other people, or is it that like I'm scared about building? And it's like, no, I was supposed to go to design school because I was supposed to learn how to use all the software that I've learned for interior design. It taught me so many things. Because of that, I was able to have a podcast because it was so much easier for me to get like, okay, now I do this. Now I hook up this. Like I became so much better at tech because I went to interior design school. And everything that I've done now makes sense that I'm like, oh, everything I did was literally an ingredient that I needed to add to my recipe. I'm the final recipe. I'm the one that needs to actually now put myself in the oven and let it cook, right? So now is when shit gets real. Now is when I know that I'm like, oh, okay, now is when we build that empire. Now is when we show up, when we set the standards, when we wake up early, when we set a goal. And I realized that in my life, I kept falling back to certain things that I was doing where I would travel and then I would come back and then my clothes is all over the place. And then it's hard for me to put it back because I have so much going on and it's chaotic and then it's a mess everywhere. And that's nowhere to live. That's not a way to live. I love a clean room. I get overwhelmed. But then I also don't have time to like I will clean just enough and then I'll have like little piles here and there. And like, it's like if we just create a system from the beginning, like what is my resistance? Okay? What is your resistance? What is your resistance? You know what you need to do. You know what you need to do to lose the weight. You know what you need to do to pursue that thing that you've been wanting to pursue. You know that you keep quitting or you keep changing direction. Is it that it's not your passion and it's truly not aligned with your values? Or is it that you're running away from that? Or that you're like not leaning into becoming that person? And one of the things I realized is that it takes work. It takes work to become this new person that wakes up and sets a schedule and then sticks to it. Because every single time that you don't stick to the schedule that you said you were going to do, that is you losing confidence in yourself. That is you breaking a promise to yourself. And then you're not going to trust yourself because you're going to be like, well, I don't trust that if I say I'm going to do something, I'll follow through. And then that sets you back like 10 steps. So, in your journey to becoming the best version of yourself, think, where am I the cost? Where am I self sabotaging myself into thinking that I can't do it or that this is just who I am? I'm just messy. I just can't do it. I keep telling myself, I'm not messy. What the fuck are you doing? Like, ugh, ugh, ugh. ugh, it literally kills me. It kills me. And we need to change. I want to be that girl that comes home from a trip and unpacks, throws everything away, puts it away. And then it's like you leave, the house is clean, you come back, the house is clean. I'm not going to be perfect, right? Nobody's going to be perfect. Like God was like, Ceci, I can't make you totally perfect, right? So then it's like, no, we cannot do that. But in an effort to truly be that best version of ourselves, let's be so honest that it hurts. So if you realize and you decide, where am I self-sabotaging myself? Is it my fitness? Is it my career? Is it the fact that every single time I start something new and then it gets real, I get scared because then I have to show up as that version? That is what needs to change. You need to move past the fear. And so with that, I realized, I was like, okay, I am exactly where I need to be. I don't need to get any more certifications. I don't need to work any harder. I already have the skills and I have the platforms. I know what to do. I actually need to simplify. I need to start doing less for everybody else because I kept like networking, doing this, doing that, connect, connect, connect. But then I wasn't taking care of my own business and really pouring back into me. And so that is what I felt like was making all of my businesses just kind of like stagnant and not grow at the level that I wanted them to grow. Also, my personal life, I felt like in my personal life, I felt that's why I feel chaotic. That's why I feel like everything's messy and like I don't have structure. And I don't like that. I realized I love structure. I love a list. I love an organized space. So that is what we're working on now. We are getting rid of that self-sabotage because the point that I want you to take today is that being multi-passionate is not a problem. Your problem is that you don't have a structure to manage being multi-passionate. All right. Did you hear that? Because once you have a system and once you have the clarity of where your energy is supposed to go, then everything will fall into place. And then that energy will be able to be fueled in the right direction. You will stop feeling like everything is chaotic and everything will move with clarity and in the direction that it's supposed to go. That is my goal for you today. That is my goal for me. And that is what I'm going to be working on. And you better believe that I'm going to be creating a lot of content on this, not only in my YouTube channel, but also in my Instagram, my TikTok, because actually, I haven't been posting on TikTok, but we are going to get back on there. But I want to show you guys the things that I implement in my own life and my own business so that you guys can implement them in your life as well. If you are a multi-passionate person and you want to channel that in different ways, and maybe you start a project and then you leave it halfway and then you started something else, think about why you do that and think about what scared you or what was it about the process of like you got so close and then you abandoned that project. Okay. I want you to analyze that. So, of course, that was your homework for today. Where are you the cost? Where are you sabotaging yourself so that you keep yourself at this safe, small level? Because you know that growth is expansion and it's scary and it feels uncomfortable. So sometimes we feel like that is something that we need to avoid because it's dangerous and scary, but that's not what it means. What it means is when you analyze two different things, your intuition will tell you when something is dangerous and it's not meant for you. Kind of like when you're coming out of a store and it's dark and you see a guy standing next to your car. That is your intuition telling you do not go by your car because that guy is dangerous, right? Or like potentially, you don't know if he is, but your gut's saying like, that situation, that doesn't feel good, right? Or like if you're gonna go buy something and you're like, I don't know if that's in my budget because then maybe my rent will bounce or whatever. And you're like, yeah, that's probably not a good choice. And that's your intuition telling you, girl, no, step back. But when it's fear telling you and keeping you and self-sabotaging you from growth, it's different. The question that you need to ask yourself is, okay, this situation, does it feel scary? Yes. Okay. If the fear was gone, would I be proud that I did it? A lot of the times the answer is going to be yes. And that means that it's a moment of expansion, not a moment of danger. Okay. So that's how you know what direction to go. And you need to start listening to your intuition. And for next podcast episode, I'm cooking up some good things because I have been working on my human design and the way the things that I found. Oh my God, I'm so excited to share. I am going to be including human design in my coaching business and all of my content. And you guys, it's going to be so good. The way that my whole life makes sense. And if you don't know what human design is, Google it. And if not, come back because I'm going to talk about it next week. All right. And thank you so much for being here. Remember to do the homework. Think about where you're sabotaging yourself and then think about ask yourself those questions. Is this expansion or is this my intuition telling me that this is dangerous? Because if not, if it's expansion, we got to move past the fear. Okay. All right. So until next time, if you like this show, please like, share, subscribe, share it with a friend. Sharing is caring. And I will see you next time. If you're not following me on Instagram, I am at Cecilia _Navarro. My friend told me, like, why did you make it so complicated? And I'm like, because someone has my name, okay? These women out there have Cecilia Navarro, and I can't just get the Cecilia Navarro. It's hard, okay? Anyways, all right, I will see you next time. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Until next time.